For decades, audiences admired them from afar. One was the rugged Western icon whose calm presence defined an era of Hollywood. The other became one of television's most beloved leading men. But behind the polished image of classic Hollywood, there was a story few people expected. A story of admiration, lessons, and surprising truths. And years later, James Garner finally opened up about what Randolph Scott was really like when the cameras stopped rolling. Long before he became a household name, James Garner's life was far from glamorous. Born during the hardships of the Great Depression, Garner grew up in Oklahoma, facing struggles that would shape his character for the rest of his life. After serving in the military and working a variety of jobs, he eventually found his way into acting almost by accident. Meanwhile, Randolph Scott had already become one of Hollywood's most recognizable Western stars. Tall, charismatic, and seemingly effortless on screen, Scott represented a generation of actors who helped build the myth of the American West. By the 1950s and 1960s, both men had become symbols of a changing entertainment industry. Scott dominated movie theaters with Western adventures, while Garner captured television audiences through performances that felt more modern and relatable. Their careers followed different paths, yet many fans viewed them as part of the same Hollywood tradition. But according to stories Garner shared later in life, his view of Randolph Scott went far beyond what audiences saw on screen. Those who knew Scott often described him as disciplined, professional, and surprisingly intelligent when it came to business. While many actors focused solely on fame, Scott quietly built a reputation as one of Hollywood's smartest investors. Garner later spoke with admiration about Scott's ability to navigate an industry where fortunes were often made and lost overnight. Behind the cowboy hat and Western hero image was a man who understood the realities of Hollywood better than most. One moment in particular left a lasting impression. As Garner's own career expanded, he witnessed how veteran stars like Scott handled pressure, success, and public expectations. According to accounts from people familiar with both actors, Garner respected Scott's refusal to become consumed by celebrity culture. At a time when Hollywood was filled with parties, scandals, and endless headlines, Scott maintained a private life that seemed increasingly rare. Yet the truth Garner revealed was not about controversy. It was about character. Many believe Garner came to see Scott as an example of longevity in an industry that often discarded its stars. While younger performers chased attention, Scott focused on professionalism and stability. That lesson would remain with Garner throughout his own decades-long career. As years passed, both men became representatives of different eras of entertainment. Scott eventually retired, leaving behind a legendary Western legacy. Garner continued acting for decades, earning admiration for his authenticity and charm. But time has a way of changing perspectives. Looking back, Garner's reflections suggested that success was never just about talent. It was about integrity, discipline, and knowing who you are when the spotlight fades. Today, Randolph Scott remains one of the defining faces of classic Western cinema, while James Garner is remembered as one of television's most enduring stars. Their connection reveals something deeper about Hollywood history. Sometimes the greatest lessons don't come from dramatic rivalries or shocking scandals. Sometimes they come from quiet respect between two professionals who understood the cost of fame. And perhaps that's the truth James Garner wanted people to remember. Behind every legendary career is a person whose example inspires others long after the cameras stop rolling. What do you think about James Garner's reflections on Randolph Scott? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and join us for more untold stories from Hollywood's golden age.